Welcome back, everybody. My name is Lindsay. This is Linda's Investing, and I have Violeta with me. And we just did some recordings for our Real Estate Half-Ass show. And if you haven't subscribed or checked it out, please do. It's available on Spotify and anywhere you can download a podcast episode, as well as our YouTube channel, Real Estate Half-Ass.
Hi, everyone.
Today, this is something that Violeta and we wanted to run by other people. That we wanted to see if we can analyze a property that's outside our market. And today I bring Kansas City, Missouri. And I know there's two Kansas City. That's one in Kansas and there's one in Missouri. But this one I picked because it's close to three universities. And I know people that go to the universities, they do schooling then. But yeah, I found this property in MLS just today, so I didn't have to look a lot. And it's listed for $90,000, 89,900, and I was showing Violeta earlier the pictures. What do you think? Just looking at it, what do you feel like?
I was thinking about how like it already hits one of your favorite things that it has some brick on it, and the outside looked fine. If you could go back to the outside,
Oh yeah,
yeah, the outside looks good. Trying to see the only thing from the outside. I would definitely cut that tree down.
yeah.
It's gonna be that, but I think it looks good. Um,
For people don't know, I love brick. Um,
yeah. Yeah. But this one's nice because from the pictures it looks like they've updated, at least, they've has fresh paint, looks clean.
kind of like semi-open concept.
Yeah. I've realized like lately they put like when they come and update these types of homes, they always put that backsplash. I hate that
Oh,
backsplash.
this one?
Yeah. It's either the gray one or the brown version of it. And they always put it in it. I always hate it, but I'm like, okay, I get it.
It's like
They're on a
150.
budget.
Oh, that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, but it looks good. You're getting fridge and everything. You're including the appliances and stuff. Because sometimes, like with the properties that I get, sometimes it was surprisingly uh, something to learn that you don't provide some of these things because I guess tenants like to bring their stuff. So yeah, but some of the properties that I purchased, they had a fridge and stuff. So then I just leave it for the tenants. So
Yeah, I definitely. Jacek is already tuning in the chat saying that it's on sale on Home Depot, the backsplash.
it's a
Jacek,
sale.
he has a background in construction. Mark saying, where are we looking at right now? We're looking at a house in a new market, Kansas
Yeah,
City.
we're yeah, doing kind of like a property analysis, kind of a walkthrough to show people what our thoughts are, like how our thought process and how to kind of like a how to, but laid back version. 'Cause
Yeah, and a market that neither she does know or I know.
yeah, just kind of winging it. But yeah, yeah, I've been seeing that backsplash. It's gonna be haunting me.
Yeah, so it's a three-bedroom, one bath. Um, Honestly, I don't see anything that needs to be fixed right away.
Not off from the pictures, but I've had like properties where they look really nice here, and then you go in person and the paint job is like, okay.
Like this vanity looks a little old, but it might
Looks like they probably just painted it and stuff.
maybe some
Um,
caulking on the bathroom here.
yeah, that is a tip too when you're going and walking these properties is check the caulking because that's the last thing you want is water to start getting in between these things and just start rotting stuff away. The plumbing is always like a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
Is this like a bed? Is this a bedroom?
it seems like it. There's a wall, window unit three. Oh, maybe it's like a back porch that goes into the basement. I don't know.
Hmm. It looks like it's a bedroom. It probably, yeah. I wonder if this was, you said it was a 3 bedroom, 1 bath?
3 bedroom, 1 bath.
Yeah, I wonder if it was like a 2-1 and then they made this into kind of like a bedroom.
Maybe. Okay, so let's look a little bit at that description. So 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms and what? Um, Charming home, move-in ready bungalow. Oh, this is created with ChatGPT.
Yeah, you can notice some of these is like
Yeah.
definitely chat GPT descriptions.
Yeah, previously used as a rental. Oh, okay. It's
Okay, so
only
it was a
bones.
rental.
Hmm. So it does seem like they did some repairs to it.
Mm-hmm.
Conveniently located, quick access to highways, just minutes from downtown Kansas City, the Arts District. Okay. So
It
1925.
is cute. It's a cute little house. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I mentioned before, there's a big university very close to this. I think it's right here. It's the
Yeah.
Kansas Public University. And that's the reason why I chose this market because there's three universities in a triangle kind of thing. And I wanted to look for a market that was doable for us. So initially, I don't know the city, right? I don't know the zip code, but I go and put it on my niche uh,
Mm-hmm.
website that I look up. And so I see that it's a C plus community neighborhood. And also want to see like what the population is, about 20,000. So it's pretty small. Uh, the medium rent is $1,000. And one more thing that I do want to see is like how much the household income is. So I am always looking for over 40,000 for income, which means like majority of the people here are over poverty line. So you do want to know like the people that rent your pool house, it will be somebody that has a job.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next thing I would do is trying to find out how much this rents for. So I would go to rentcast.io, which is similar to Rentometer, and I would want to know what this rents for. You can also use apartments.com, Zillow.com, but it seems like rent the medium rent is 1,300 and the minimum like the lowest that they see is 1150 and it can go as high as 1480. I'm sure that if you wanted to compare, you have some comps here, so if you wanted to compare like the houses that you're looking at or pulling comps from, you could. So 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, brick house, see if the updates. Mostly like the higher rents are most likely higher, nicer rehabs, new construction, higher appliances. But always when I look at rents, I do want to make sure I'm not at the top end of
Mm-hmm.
the rent. Neither I'm at the lowest. I'm always somewhere in the middle. So I would definitely say 1,300 is probably what I would aim for.
Yeah,
Um,
same. I don't like being at the top. It's just going to sit longer, and you might get somebody eventually, but I'd rather get it rented fast.
mhm. What did Mark say? That he said $1.50 in Hawaii inflation hedge for the backsplash.
Well, he was talking about the hot. I think he was referring to
Oh,
Costco.
Costco. Right.
It's
It's
saying,
$1.50 here
oh,
too.
it's because he's in Costco.
Oh
I
my
guess he's
god.
shopping. But yeah, I guess so. I guess one of the things is like, yeah, when you're looking for your market, which again, we're kind of in a good spot right now where we have technology, where we're literally just sitting right here. I'm like chilled, lean back, and we're just looking at a market way in another. another state, but you could do so much, like figure out the median rent and see what's all around. That's what I do too, is click on the map, look what is around there. And the other thing is I like to do the Google Maps and like basically like walk, I would say like walk down the neighborhood and kind of look at that street and see, how is that street? Like if other people are taking care of their properties, because just because it's like in a C neighborhood doesn't mean that, people don't take pride in their houses and stuff like that. So yeah, you could walk down and see that one's well taken care of, lawn cut, you know
I like to
lined
see the
up.
cars too, like the cars that are parked in front of the houses.
Yes, the cars are just in the front and all that stuff. So um
It does look like it's on a hill.
yeah, which is good because if it rains, then it's going to go down there. Yours is your property. Maybe that one that's further down the street might. But yeah, it looks like a nice location. Look at that. Yeah, and then you can look at the other houses. Like who said it, that it was an up and coming area.
Jasic.
Yeah, so that's another thing too, because you could see that house, but then you walk down the street and you could see that houses are starting to get like remodeled or whatever. So you could get a lot of clues by just like walking down and stuff. Like that one right there on your left, is that one's getting remodeled. It looks like they're gutting it.
Mm-hmm.
So this area is starting to slowly come up, and I don't know what that. Yeah, it looks interesting.
Yeah.
Would we go see it in person? Probably not. I think I don't.
No.
I haven't gone to any like things. I just rely on FaceTime and
We
the
have
real.
another person in the chats that hasn't seen her properties, and he's been investing there for 6 years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mark.
Yeah, I think with yeah, I haven't felt the need to go in person. I would like to one day and just kind of like put eyes on my property and see what's up, but so far it's been okay. But this one, I don't think, as long as you get like a good property inspector, your realtor, and really look at stuff, I think you should be okay.
So I wanted to go see run the numbers just for like
Mhm.
this small of a window of what we have here. So let's say we do get them from the purchase price of $90,000. You get a conventional loan or DSCR loan, a 20% down. You pay your closing costs about 5%. So total out of pocket, you're at 22,500. Let's say you get an interest rate of 6.75. Your mortgage is about 466.99. We looked up taxes for Missouri, Kansas, Missouri. It says it was about 19% of your assessed value. So that comes out some in the vicinity of 1,200 to 1,300. So we put $100 monthly. Insurance, we just guesstimated, Violeta and I have houses like these that
Mhm.
run, insurance runs between 70 to like 120, depends. So total PITI is 666.99. Oh my God, that's the devil's number. Well, with the per comps were from the estimated, we have 1310. And after all the expenses, and she reminded me like sometimes you have to pay utilities, but I believe on most single families you don't. So if you do, you will have to alter that. For example, I put zero down, and then property management. If you're using a property manager, we assume 10%. Vacancy repairs, capital expenditures. I did 5% for each category, but I know Violeta had something to say about that.
Yeah, it's good to like once you learn your market, then you could adjust it or whatever. You could either go in the high end and just be safe, but I think with this property, I think you're pretty safe. Of course, once you do the inspection, you'll get a better idea of like, how old is the HVAC, looking at the plumbing, things like that. Then you could kind of adjust it. But yeah, I usually did 5%. But now, having been in my market, I think I go for 8%. Now, because I feel like I've been doing a lot more maintenance, but also I made a few mistakes of not taking care of these issues off the bat. So it's kind of like, well, it depends on what you do. And then as far as like the utilities, because I have multifamily, and the water's usually like under like my name and stuff, and then they pay me and stuff. I usually account for like maybe throughout the year I might have some loss here or there because when they move out, whatever. So,
Yeah.
um,
So
yeah,
you
you
can
just learn these things as
you
you
can
go.
you can adjust this as you need, as much comfortable it makes you. Um, so total in we're at 994. And if it's the rent box that we calculate is true, then we would be cash flowing $316 after all expenses are paid, being that $3,786 yearly. That will give you a cash on cash return of 16%. And
Mhm,
on paper, this looks good, right? Now,
mhm,
the next step would be contacting a realtor, seeing what the realtor thinks. I know realtors cannot give you like an opinion about a zip code that's saying that that's a bad area. I believe
mhm,
that's like controversial for them to do. But you could say things like, would you invest in this area? What are the
mhm,
challenges that I would run into if I was to buy a property here? Uh, and if you wanted to do even more research, you would call the police department and say how often the police patrols this area, how
mhm,
often are crimes being reported in this area, um, and then decide if this is a zip code that you wanted to look at even further. But didn't take me long. This is it Missouri, the Midwest? I'm not sure. I think it is. But
mhm. I think
this is
so.
the Midwest quickly scan just of some clues that I have, like for example, that there's three universities close by, that is low purchase price, right? And then some of the pointers that we have already. Um,
Mhm.
16% return, that's pretty good to me.
Yeah. Yeah, you could also ask find a property manager in like in that area and ask them questions on, how long does it take to, what's the average or whatever to put a tenant in, and stuff like that. What type of tenants are around there and stuff like that. So, um vacancies and all that stuff. Like, you could ask them and they'll give you a more accurate picture because they work with properties in that area. And then I forgot what I was gonna say. Got distracted. But yeah, property manager. But like you said, yeah, this took pretty quick. Like, we did it like right before. Well, she brought the property, and then we just like took maybe 5 minutes to kind of like research everything, 5-10, and put it through the calculator and be like, oh, okay, this one is a possibility, a pretty strong possibility. Because a lot of people like are always asking like, oh, where do I go find these properties that you get for like 100K or whatever and direct cash flowing and stuff? It's just you gotta go and look for them. I don't know. Did you say how you picked this one? Like, you just
Well,
like looked up a state?
yeah, no, I just know that I have a few friends that go to Kansas City University, and
Hmm.
I was just like, oh, I never seen. I
Yeah.
know there's some people in school, for example, old guy REI that's asking the question. He invests in Missouri as well, but I don't know exactly where. I believe it's St. Louis, but I'm not 100% sure. Um, so I was just like, I never seen this market. Let me take a look at it.
Yeah,
And he's
it's good.
asking,
And
have you guys had an agent do a current video of what the neighborhood looks like today?
yeah, it looks good. So like, for if you putting 20% down, where'd it go? It's like about 17K. And then you did the percentage at 6.75. Yeah, for 90K, this is a pretty solid deal. 300 um cash flow and 14%, you said, for cash on cash. Yeah. I would probably go for this property.
Yeah, so for me, I do ask my realtor to take so for my market, Gary, for example, it's very street by street. So I do ask them to take a video of the street right
Mhm.
now. And on the Google pictures or the Google images that you do get, there is a date at the bottom where it was taken. So if it was like the last satellite view was in 2022, that's not updated
Yeah, you don't
images.
wanna use that one.
There's some satellites I've seen as early as like 2017. So I don't really rely on those, but
Mhm.
if it's 2025, then that's pretty good.
Yeah, I look for as long as it says 2025. But yeah, like, yeah, when you have your realtor, like you said, yeah, drive around. I've had them like talk to neighbors if they happen to be outside or whatever and were willing to talk or whatever. I've had that as well. And they'll tell you because they want to, especially if they're like in a decent neighborhood, even though it's like lower to moderate income. A lot of them, they still have their like community there too, so they want to protect their community too. So they'll tell you about it and stuff. I've had some where like they express their concerns, like, oh, as long as you're not putting in bad people, because this is a good community and we want to keep it that way and stuff. So
Yeah. Have you had any of the challenges of not having responsive realtors when you're calling from?
yes. Yes, it's so annoying. That's why in one of the episodes with Sammy that comes out, that episode's coming out next week. I was talking about like I want to get in touch with her realtor because the one that I've already gone through two realtors there, and this one was better, but there's still mistakes that he made that have cost me, and kind of like I had to like clean up and stuff with like the tenants. Like, first of all, the not knowing that the bottom unit was technically rented out. We thought it was vacant and blah blah blah. So like just some communication there. And during closing there was some communication issues, but I couldn't tell because sometimes they'll blame it on the other realtor, like, oh, the other realtor didn't say didn't respond or whatever. So this was a lot of kind of like work for that. Um, and then yeah, lately when I've been like, hey, I'm thinking about like what's the status of the market right now and stuff like that. It's like, so
Yeah. I think it's because also the purchase price of these properties are not as high as well.
hmm
So they don't take us as seriously.
yeah, I definitely see that too. I feel like we're kind of like and stuff,
Yeah.
but you build that relationship, and I think he was motivated at first because he probably imagined that I would be buying more often than I am. Like, I bought in December, and then I had the plan was to buy like a few months later or summertime. But now I think I'm ending the year without one. So unless I go for this one, maybe I'll go look at that one.
Yeah, and I think we're bringing Sammy next week on our podcast, but she invests in the same area that Violeta invests, so they were trying
Mhm.
to make their properties see what they can do for each other. But that was interesting to watch you guys because
Yeah.
you have kind of like enter different with different connections, right?
hmm Yeah. I had different connections and stuff, but not to. I'm willing to like find a new realtor that's a little bit more on the ball, I guess, because I
Hmm.
feel like it felt like he did this on the side a little bit. Like I feel like, yeah, it's. I think he has his main kind of like market, which is probably like the higher ticket ones, and then he did this um, kind of like on the side doing. I don't even know how to explain, but it just felt like, yeah, definitely not his priority.
Yeah, but she also mentioned that she went to her market
Hmm.
to see the property before. And I
Yeah.
think we have a lot of people on the chat that have not seen the RSC properties. And I think you do gain some knowledge from going to your market. I've been to my market now the last 3 years, and
Hmm.
every time I go, I learn something new, and I learn something about the businesses that are opening up on my market, and even news, right? Just talking to the people that are working there, constructors or people that are subcontractors. If you're actively working there, you like see where they live, where they commute, where they go to work. And then so you get more data points, not just like from looking up things, but also from the people that are there day to day.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think one day I'd like to go for those reasons because I want to kind of like see for myself some things and maybe do some things while I'm there. Um, so I don't have to pay like the property manager or whatever. But yeah,
Yeah. I wonder if anybody has is looking at the different market now. It's winter, so I believe for us, or things are slowing down in our markets. If anybody has like any questions about a new market or wanted to discuss, have send us new questions on our YouTube channel or on this live, or and check us out on Real Estate Help Us so we can continue to bring you more things every week.
yeah.
Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
And if y'all go get it, let us know. Let us know if you decide to go for this one and give us the cheese man on
Yeah, or
what
if
went
this
in
is
and everything.
a neighborhood that you will never invest in, and tell us why.
Yeah.
Okay.